Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is directed by David Yates and stars Eddie Redmayne, I believe that's how to pronounce his name, and Colin Farrell and Dan Fogler, and the movie is a prequel to the Harry Potter series of books that were written by J.K. Rowling, and the movie is actually written by J.K. Rowling for a screenplay.
And it's an 80-year earlier prequel to the Harry Potter series.
Yeah, so of course everyone knows this movie. For those of you familiar with the previous Harry Potter films, they were a popular series of books that later got adapted to the popular franchise that spawned 8 movies. And this movie is a prequel set years before that time, in which you have a character named Newt Scamander, played by Eddie Redmayne, who arrives in 1920s New York.
Which is actually, he was personally kicked out of Hogwarts.
Yeah, he was kicked out of Hogwarts, and he goes to New York to try to... where he carries this suitcase that has all these different creatures inside, and throughout the film, he along the way he meets a woman named Tina, and who is part of this organization of wizardry, where they have like a unit of different. It's like a police force of wizards, basically, who have to make sure that the people that are in the city are not aware that witchcraft and wizardry goes around,
and make sure that all the wizards obey by the laws that they put in place.
Right. And then along the way, he also meets another character named Jake Kowalski, played by Dan Fogler,
which is a non-magic. He's not. He's a no-mage. No-mage, they call him. It's got people who are just regular, like me and you. No magic. Runs at him. He actually sees magic being taken place. For personal reasons of him not exploring it, Eddie teams up with them.
Right. And so along the way, so his creatures get loose, and then pretty much the story goes, Newt has to, along with Tina and her sister, and also Jake, they have to go find these beasts and have to return them to the suitcase. Yeah. So, lo and behold, I was...
Pretty much the title explains itself.
Yeah, pretty much. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Yeah.
Now, lo and behold, this film, I was looking forward to a lot, because not only am I a huge Harry Potter fan, especially from the movies, but I grew up reading at least the first 2 Harry Potter books. I didn't read all of them, but when I read the first 2, it actually got me into a lot of fantasy worlds.
See, I'm into fantasy films myself. I didn't really read the books. I remember when they first came out, I knew a lot of people read them. I'm not a big book reader, so I didn't care about reading the books. But I remember seeing the first 2 Harry Potters in theaters. I did have a fallout because at the time when I was younger, whenever they were making 3 and the 4th one and the 5th one, I kind of wasn't really into the type films. It was something that had to grow on me. So unfortunately for that, I seen the first 2 in theaters, but after that, I had to watch all of them in straight on video, because at a time, I think it was around Order of the Phoenix, the 5th or 6th one.
Yeah,
was the 6th one, I think it was.
The Order of the Phoenix was the 5th one.
5th one. Okay, so when it was around the 5th one, it was when I wanted to get back into going to see them in theaters, and I was getting into more films. But unfortunately, because I missed some of them after the first 2 in theaters, I said, what was the point? I had to catch up, and I never did catch up, so I stayed to the videos on them. But I ended up liking them. They got on me later than most people who were that were addicted to them every year.
Right.
They were coming out. So this film, after seeing the trailer, I was actually saying, hey, I'm going to catch this in theaters this time. And what really got me in the trailer, not only is it's cool to see that they're going to bring the Harry Potter life and they're going to prequel it, but I really enjoyed the 3D. The 3D was awesome. Right. The visuals. I was really anxious to see it.
Yeah, from the previews alone, the 3D looked like it was going to do some really gimmicky things like you typically see, but make it where you actually feel like you're in this world. And they really do in this. The 3D was outstanding.
I love the 3D and I love the visuals. All that was awesome.
Yeah, and so as pretty much okay, we'll get to the pros first. First of all, Eddie Redmayne, I believe the guy's name is. He was outstanding as Newt. I liked his character, how he's pretty much making sure that these beasts are getting back to his suitcase. He's kind of more of your kind of eager, kind of earnest guy, where he's really just trying to look out for everything.
What's really weird is there's certain characters that really get me invested in them. There's only a few characters, the way they talk, the way their accent, the way they present themselves in films, get me really liking them a lot. Eddie is starting to be a new one. Another 2 that are like that, Javier Bardem and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes.
He reminds me of them two characters because something about the way they speak, the way they present themselves, their accent and everything, the way their tone of voice is, gets me into liking all their movies. And Eddie's a new one.
Yeah, he's very charismatic.
Something about him I like.
He has like really great charisma. He has a lot of, he has some funny moments too in a lot of parts, and he just seems like he's a really, try to look out for everybody.
Yeah.
And
now,
so
there's that bigger guy. I can't remember the actor's name.
Dan Fogler.
Dan Fogler. I like him. He is actually kind of funny in some other films, but a lot of his films, I understand, get really bad reps. And it was cool to see him take this approach.
I like this character Jake Kowalski, played by Dan Fogler, a lot. He's pretty much the everyman of the group. Because I'm not really too big of a fan of Dan Fogler, especially his comedies he's done, like Balls of Fury. But this is the first movie I can say, you know what, he's actually really good.
Balls of Fury, I gotta agree with you. I didn't care for that movie, but I did thought he was the only good thing about that Penguin one.
Good Luck Chuck.
Good Luck Chuck. He was the only good thing about that. And that movie was that was it. That was all I liked about it. But anyways, like I said, he's known to be doing some really crappy movies. But overall, I was actually pretty glad that he did something cool.
Yeah, he's a lot more reserved this time, and he's pretty much the everyman like you and me. Because he's a non-magical person. Yeah. Because he gets part of the group, and throughout the whole film, they have to make sure that because what happens is he gets bit by this creature,
one of the
creatures, and we're not going to spoil anything, but pretty much the whole film, he has to tag along, or else they have to pretty much wipe his memory off.
Well, that's the thing. It's actually Eddie wanted to keep him around for two reasons. It's to make sure that he didn't have bad reactions to the creature that bit him, but the fact that he's a non-mag and he's seen their magic, and they don't want him going around telling, "Hey, I seen these people." So they're kind of like keeping him like around, make sure he doesn't talk about it.
Yeah, and so another thing I really like too, surprisingly, I didn't realize Colin Farrell was in this movie, and I thought he did a great job playing. He's kind of playing like a middle kind of character. He's not really bad, but he's not really a good eater. He's just kind of basically like a third party. He's
kind of like a second co-villain. Not really the obscure.
Yeah, the Obscurus,
which is a black
creature that...
It's a black entity force.
Yes. We won't go into detail because we're trying to avoid spoilers, but this creature, when stuff goes down, you really see the damage that this creature does.
It's actually killing people.
Yeah. And so throughout the film, you're seeing a lot of cool destruction that they use, especially in the 3D.
3D was amazing. Yeah. That shit was coming out of the screen left or right. I enjoyed the 3D.
I did too, a lot. Yeah. Especially when all the magic creatures are flying at the screen and everything. Yeah. Especially when you have that one part where the Obscurus is like moving around and stuff.
I like how they one of my favorite parts in the film was when him and the bigger guy was trying to catch that horny rhino thing.
That was funny.
And then he's chasing the fat dude around. Yeah.
That was funny. But another praise I give is it was cool seeing that they brought back snippets of the music that you heard previously in Harry Potter.
Yeah,
because you get to hear the main theme at the beginning. Because when they show the titles, you get to hear that classic theme song. Yeah. Which was cool. And plus, one of my also praises I like is they reveal this later dark backstory involving this character played by Ezra Miller, who's going to be up in the upcoming Justice League. Yeah. He plays Credence, who I'm not going to spoil anything, but you really kind of feel bad for this character throughout the movie because
he's getting abused by his mother.
Yeah, and they really they really do go into detail with a lot of what happens.
Yeah, and then they do other side stories with, like I said, with him and the girl, the little girl.
But those are pretty much my pros as far as the movie itself. Because really, my cons are, even though the movie does kind of move like at a fast pace, there are some parts where it kind of drags a little bit for me. Yeah. But it didn't get to the point where I found it boring.
Okay, yeah, this is where we kind of a little disagree. I start losing kind of interest in this film for a little while. The story, like I said, like the visuals are beautiful, the cast is great, and some of the stories is cool. But overall, I thought this movie started dragging a lot for me. The pacing was really boring, and I found myself yawning a lot throughout the stories. I thought it kind of took more of a drama feel to it for a while. And I understand it's called Fantastic Beasts and where to find them, but I understand that, but I felt like I understand it's supposed to be, the title's supposed to introduce the movie, or that's all they're really going to do most of the film. But I thought that, like, I understand, like some of the scenes, but like some of them finding them, but like they were doing obviously most of the movie, and I was kind of getting bored with that. I was kind of getting yawny fest, but don't get me wrong, it's still an alright film for me, but I was just getting kind of bored for a while.
Yeah, I could see where you're coming from, but that's to me because
I expected a lot more. I was really wanting more of. I understand it's not wanting. You don't want it to keep doing the Harry Potter shit left and right. I understand that, but I was still hoping it was going to do a lot more magical shit like that, just constant magic.
Right.
So I can actually see more stuff coming out of the screen, but they kind of like toned that down with the wand thing a lot, so they didn't really use a lot of that. I was kind of getting bored with it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the pacing did kind of drag me in the middle part, but when it got to near the third act, that's when it started to pick up a little bit more for me.
I just like the third act.
When the third act got going, it really made it to where things were moving at an easier level. And another problem I did kind of have was I kind of wish we kind of a little bit had more going on with Colin Farrell's character.
Yeah,
I liked what they did. It's just that I think
spend much time with
they didn't really do much with the character, and that's what kind of threw me off because they kind of spent a lot of time with them.
Yeah, like I said, unfortunately, there is a twist in it. We're not going to talk about it. It's spoiler free, but there is a twist which he was shocked, but the fact that I've already seen the ending because thanks to y'all fuckers that go and fucking spoil everything for everybody. I already knew the ending, and that kind of anticlimactic for me. It was pretty It was kind of anticlimactic, only because you people need, when you guys see movies and it's something new and it's something big, y'all need to keep that shit to yourselves until everybody's seen it, because you guys kind of ruined that for me. So I already knew that was coming. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that surprised me though. What I see, that twist they had at the end was cool. Yeah. So overall, with the fact that they are actually building upon this universe of Harry Potter, and the fact they're not really spending too much time as a prequel, this film really, I think, was very wonderful. It was entertaining with a lot of the 3D, the story. I pretty much feel like this one is the same way I feel about the first Hobbit film. It takes a while to pick up in parts because it's the first story. But I feel like as the series is going to go on, I think they're going to do more with it. I think where they are going to connect more with the Harry Potter universe.
Yeah, regardless of the score I give it, I'm interested in seeing the second one. If y'all don't know, they're actually this series is supposed to be 5 installments. So.
Yeah, which is a lot. But hey, I'm all down.
I'm down for it because could you imagine the package they're going to add with Harry Potter? It's going to be one big package.
Yeah.
I'm still interested. I'll see, but I'll when the second one comes out, I'll go see it. Even though I'm going to give this film what I'm going to give its grade. So
right. So overall, I'm going to give the movie a 7.5 out of 10. I had some flaws here and there, but it's still if you like Harry Potter, you will definitely like this one.
Yeah. Me, I'm going to go a little lower. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Like I said, I was a lot more bored with it than he was. But overall, like I said, the visuals are still good. The cast is still great. And whenever the whole series is finished, will I buy it? Yes, I would. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's just I just thought the drama scenes, the more just sitting down and talking and discussing, was kind of dragged a little while. So I was kind of getting bored with that part. So it's a 6 out of 10 for me.
Fair enough. What did you guys think of Fantastic Beasts and where to find them? Comment below, and if you like what you see here, you can check out more of our reviews on YouTube, and we'll be seeing you in our next review. We'll see you guys later.